Shanghai, we've got ABC here, we've got absolutely everyone from all mainstream media here for one man in a suit. And that's amazing how much coverage you can get on one issue if you just have the right kind of suit. And the right issue as well. Socially, there's more cameras here than protesters so far. I am hoping to speak to someone at some point, but for now, I'm going to have to defer to ABC, SBS, Associated Press, and an absolute swarm of media attention for someone who would publicly stand against China. Everyone wants to amplify it. So we're going to step back here and see if we can ask some other people, ask some questions about why they come, ask them about the signs, see if we can dive in with someone over here, see if we can... Chinese students and ordinary people are protesting against the country. I am standing here hoping that you know what is happening in China. Follow I'm Aaron Chang on Twitter to know what is happening in China. Aaron Chang, there you go. Apparently the university class of 2020. One candle is being amplified 1,000 times. Excuse me. Can you tell us why you've come to today's protest?
Oh, I'm media.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry. I'm from SBS. Yeah.
Oh, good. I'll leave you with it. Is your colleague here?
Yeah,
she's also media?
Yeah.
Good. The gentleman here with a GoPro. Excuse me, can I ask you, tell us, why have you come to today's protest?
Yeah, because China, you know, they have the protest about a few days, and I'm outside. I'm bored, so I really want to advocate for them in my hometown.
Where do you feel comfortable telling us more about your? Tell us more about what you're advocating for, or tell us what you can tell us.
Yeah, you just know about China is okay. Yeah, it's not depend which city it is. Yeah, the whole China, most of cities now have the protest. So I think that's it's not about the city.
Okay, not about the city, it's about the whole of China.
Yeah.
And you're standing against lockdowns, or you're against the restrictions, or just to you?
Yeah, I think it's just for me. And I don't like lockdown. I don't like restriction. In fact, for myself, I don't like the CCP. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't
All
like
of those
the
things.
policy. Yeah, but I think that's the people here. It's not something like me. Maybe they just don't like.
Maybe something
lockdown.
different.
Yeah.
All good. All good. Have you attended any anti-lockdown protests in Sydney? Like all the, anti-COVID restrictions?
In fact,
everything?
I'm fresh here. So I just come here about 2 months. So,
Oh wow!
yeah.
Okay. Well, welcome. Yeah. Cool. All right. Thanks for the chat. Live streaming on Discoveries. Nice to meet you. See you later. Thank you for the chat. That was nice. Fresh off the boat. Just a couple of months here. G'day, guys. Can I ask you? No. All good. Excuse me. Can I? Hi. Can I? No. What about? Yeah. What have we got? I'll turn this on so people can tell that feel more comfortable with them. What have we got? That's English language. All right. No more PCR. We need the food. No more lockdown. We love the freedom. No more lies. We want the dignity. Have you heard of the anti-lockdown movement here in Australia? Because this sounds almost exactly the same as. Yeah. Is that something you can relate to, or?
Not really.
No.
Yeah.
So specifically more. Simple question. Tell us, why have you come to today's protest?
Because we want to pray for our people in Urumqi, and they died in a fire because of the restrictions. And Shanghai, Beijing. Yeah. And we all pray for them to be a success in the protest to cancel the lockdown, cancel everything that's put on their people, on our people, and yeah, to free our people. Yeah.
Is this Brad Hazard was the minister who instituted a lot of these rules here in Australia.
Yeah.
Do you feel the COVID rules as too strict in China, but do you feel they're also too strict here in Australia?
No, I think because it's the restriction rule in China is threaten people's life. That's why we're protesting. We just want to protect our people. That's all. Yeah, to go back to the normal life.
Okay,
just
great.
Yeah.
Live streaming on Discoveries. Thanks for the chat. Thank you.
That's fine.
Excuse me, mate. Mind if I ask you, tell us why you've come to today's protest?
I'll be honest, I was just passing, but I know it's topical at the minute. It's quite interesting to see everything gathered.
No more PCR, no more lockdown. We want dignity. What do you think? You've been through some lockdown here?
Yeah. Well, I'll be on holiday, so.
You guys had some
nasty stuff.
And Boris got to party for a bit, which is nice. Bit of
to say the least. Yeah, it's an absolute shit show over there at the minute.
Double standard brought that down, didn't it?
Yeah.
But hello.
Blow my face in
I'm live streaming at the moment,
Okay.
so I all
Sorry.
good. Thank you. That's okay. She's wearing a mask. It's like, oh, maybe the facial recognition is so good there that I don't know. What can I say? Stay here. Over there. Can you imagine?
No, totally. No. I only went through 2 proper full-on lockdowns, and they took a massive impact on everyone's mental health, including mine. So I could only imagine what. For it to still be going on, I couldn't imagine it.
What did you think of the lockdowns here in Sydney or Melbourne, Australia, and UK? You didn't?
I'll be honest, in the UK, it was.
Too much? Just right? Not enough? More lockdown?
That's the thing. Like, it's easy to say like the economy's in the toilet in the UK at the minute now, and put it down to Brexit, put it down to COVID. But I can see why it was needed, like for example in Britain, to maintain the integrity of the NHS, but it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. I can't pretend to have all the answers, but there were definitely some, like you said, double standards and things in hindsight would have been liked to have been dealt with better by your own government, but clearly weren't.
Yeah. All good. Thanks for the chat. Live streaming on Chris Discoveries. Have a good one.
What is it?
Chris Discoveries. I put my have Chris and Discoveries.
It's right by the
Chris Discoveries. Can you see the watermark at the bottom there? It says Chris Discoveries.
Chris Discoveries, is it?
Yeah, that's me.
Thanks, man.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah, have a good one.
Cheers, Paul. Let's see what else we've got. We're going to get back to the front where media is currently interviewing a man in suit. Something I always find amazing is just how much mainstream media turns out for something like this. But global narrative, that's just how things go.
Just want to ask, what do you think is the relationship between you and the fire accident in China?
I'm going to get you to light that for me. 1 second. Hang on. Okay. Oh, I'm not on that one.
Have you been working with someone today?
Yeah.
Can you tell us, or not so much? I'm live streaming, but tell us why have you come to today's protest?
I'm also a Chinese student, and I think Chinese government and public is very, it's maybe not good, or everyone is he feel not good because for example, I go to Australia in February in this year.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know Xi'an?
Yes.
Lockdown? Yeah, the lockdown city. Yeah. I'm this. I feel that this lockdown city.
Yep.
So I know CCP or CPC is public. It's very amazing.
So you feel the lockdowns were too harsh in China?
Yeah.
What did you think of the lockdowns here in Australia?
I think. Sorry. You asked me. Look like Australia.
Yes. So you're against the lockdowns in China. Were you against the lockdowns in Australia, or yeah? So they were too harsh in Australia as well.
Yeah.
So, have you heard of the protest that happened? Have you been to an anti-lockdown protest before? You have?
Yeah, I have.
Oh, okay. So there is an overlap. This is what I've been exploring, if there's an overlap between the two of them. And I've found 2 people who have so far, but some who haven't.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
Yeah. So I'm studying for Australia because I think that this Australia is a freedom country. Freedom country. I think China is not have this one. China public can't give people freedom. His speak freedom like other ones. So yeah.
Can we talk gear? You have an A74,
Yeah.
A7S3, A74,
74.
and the
74,
native 7200 28 GM OSS.
GM2.
Oh, the Mark II, so it's a lighter one, much lighter.
Mark II.
And what have you got there for a flash? The 685.
Yeah.
Nice, yeah, Mark II. Great. And a cage around it. Oh, good. I'll leave it. Live streaming on Chris Discoveries. I'll leave you with it. Thanks for the chat.
See you.
See you. Bye. See if we can talk some more. Let's have a look at some signs. Let's have a look at some signs, guys. What have we got when it comes to some signs? We'll start on this end. Are you part of today's print? No, just passing by, or
just watching.
Just watching? What do you think?
I'm not even sure what's going on.
Oh, okay. Let's have a look at some signs, and we'll see if we can work out what's what. It's a blank piece of paper.
A4. You can pick up one over there. That's the official protest slogan.
A blank piece of paper.
Yep, a blank piece of A4 paper. See, I haven't committed any crime, you see.
But okay, clue us in. Okay, I'm lost. I've got a blank A4. That's the protest, just holding a blank piece of paper.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, and that's okay.
And well, they started in China, of course. We are just standing in solidarity with what they're doing.
For those of us who don't understand, can you help us piece together a blank? What does it mean?
No, it just means that silence, but protesting, I suppose.
Excuse me, I'll be back in 1 second. No, okay, you stay there. You stay there. Yeah. Okay. So someone's put up a couple of someone's giving us just. So there is some overlap between the anti-lockdown movements, but primarily I do feel this is very much not about lockdown, it's about people's sensitivities to others. How's it doing? The DJI mic before the DJI mic, the original. You know how they got the new DJI mic?
This is maybe DJI.
Oh, it pays with. It's up here. Where are you going? Interesting. Are you okay to be on live stream? Yeah. DJI
Light screen, I don't think light stream, and
DJI
I don't think
Pocket just here, and with a new generation DJI mic pairs with the DJI Pocket. There you go, guys.
Yeah.
I had no idea. That was an original one.
And well, someone just touched.
Fragile. That's one of the downsides in scenes like this. It is a bit fragile, isn't it? Still handling okay. There we go. Chris, live streaming on Chris Discoveries. What's your name? Tommy. How do we find you? Oh, hold on. Oh, I don't want to put that on live stream, do I? You want that on live stream?
I don't have to.
Yeah, maybe not. But how do we find you?
Well, I got my Twitter, YouTube, everything. You can see my footage on the website.
Is that on the other side? On
Yeah.
the side?
There's no website on it. But
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Your Twitter is... Tell us, what is your Twitter?
Twitter is Tom Sung.
Mm-hmm.
Just Google Tom Sung and you can find
How do you spell that?
TONGSUN. My name is on it.
Got it? Oh, that's got more information than we need.
that's
Tom Sung on Twitter. And Telegram?
Not Telegram, just the
YouTube?
freelance. Yep.
Just
YouTube, yes. Telegram, I don't engage to any competition. I just
use it to
have a look.
communicate?
Yeah.
But Twitter is how we find you.
Yeah.
cool.
Twitter is the best way, I think.
I'll check it out.
Thank you.
All right, Tom. Chris Coveries is where I live stream. That's where we are at the moment.
Interesting.
It is.
And I can find you on YouTube, right?
You can find me on YouTube, Twitter. You can find me on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and my biggest platform is Facebook. I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know why it is Facebook that works well, but I think it's a share
I don't
button.
think anybody uses Facebook anymore. No offense, but yeah. Yeah.
I think everyone watching on Facebook will be like, "Hey." Depends on the demographic. Depends. So guys, I'm familiar with something I can say about Hong Kong and China protests is they can be quite reactive.
否则它将永远不会被正式治好。
Oh, chance meeting. G'day. So this is where we get some overlap between different issues, where you have social left and social right all turning up at the same place. You have two different sides of the same politics. We're showing up at the same protest.
Get out of here.
How you going? How you going? So otherwise, we've got like a group of 3 or 4 conservatives just here, and we've got the social left issues. But here's some cross-compass unity, where you have a transgender conservative, and I'll let you go.
I think you should turn the camera up.
I think you should, yeah.
I think you should. You're putting these people in danger by keeping filming.
Why's that?
A crew also doing the same thing, right?
Yeah, Roses.
Yeah.
Oh no, so
Yeah, I don't think they should be doing it either, but I'm talking to you right now. You shouldn't be filming here.
oh Dana, you don't know Dana? You actually saw her at CPAC. You've seen her at Sydney Uni. I regard it as one of the bravest people in Sydney at most of this. So no, I think she's. I think this is the longest conversation we've had so far, which is nice.
I think you should get out of here and turn the camera up, Brett.
Oh, sorry.
No, the protests not actually actively seek out to the media, to liaison with the media, to film them.
Well, this is not the media.
It's independent media.
It's some far-right crony. We don't
No,
want
it's
people
independent media.
watching Chris Coveries.
There you go. Anything else you want to say, guys?
Get out of here, Brett.
Why?
You're not welcome.
I'll go and speak with them, and you can tell them. Actually, you guys grew up in China?
No, I didn't.
This is an anti-lockdown protest.
Actually,
yeah. If we're going to have a banter, this is an anti-lockdown protest. Why are it an anti-lockdown protest, guys?
Because you stand in solidarity with press people fighting anywhere in the world, unlike you.
So you're against lockdowns, mandates?
Yeah, actually I am.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Crazy.
There's cross-compass unity with all kinds of... This is great.
I think you should get out of here, bro. I don't think these people...
So moving on from that.
It's funny, we can discuss this, but you'll still somehow miss the point, Chris, either way. So maybe just turn this away. You know, actually it's probably be more appropriate that you're filming people that don't actually have family still back in China that could get literally disappeared. But anyways, yeah, look, I don't know why you guys got into
I'm literally just listening.
Yeah, but we've asked, you weren't listening when we said turn the camera around like 15 fucking times. So
I'm going to move on.
Walk away.
Yeah, okay. Have a good day.
Fuck off, Chris.
Live the charming social leftists, which is lovely. Let's keep moving on to others. So it should have been a moment for cross-party unity, but what ends up happening with a lot of this is it's a chance for division. A chance for argument, a chance for, yet again, swear words.
I disagree.
Okay, go.
That was the most transphobic thing I ever saw. Because usually they're meant to be on my side, and they decide not to take my side. Isn't that transphobic? No?
I would agree to a certain degree, yeah.
All of a sudden, she asked me, do I know you? I was like, as soon as she found out, I was like, oh no, you're not the real, you're not our trans, you're not the real trans. Oh. Jesus. Is he alright?
I don't know. No one said anything either. Hi. No, just an accident. No, just an accident. He's just an accident. Just an accident, nothing else. But the social left is showed up at a protest which you felt it was the most transphobic thing. Tell me.
Well, they'll get on in any trans cause that they can like that. Is there a fight happening? No?
I don't know.
But anyway, I'll make my point. I know, they just changed it. Shanghai! Shanghai! Shanghai!
真的要下来了。Are they going to be the line with the CCP? Shanghai! Shanghai!
Shanghai! Shanghai! Shanghai!
Too powerful because the police are too powerful.
Hey, good to see you again. Welcome.
From Sydney to Shanghai, democracy will never die. From Sydney to Shanghai, democracy will never die. From Sydney to Shanghai, democracy will never die. Fuck the party, fuck the state. Workers will decide their fate. Fuck the party, fuck the state. Workers will decide their fate. Fuck the party, fuck the state. Workers will decide their fate. Fuck the party, fuck the state. Workers will decide their fate. Fuck the party, fuck the state. Workers will decide their fate.
Excuse me. Do you know these people?
Sorry?
Do you know these people?
Oh no, people stand up proud. Be our voice, say it loud. Aussie people stand up proud. Be our voice.
Oh, can we? Are we okay? Can I?
Aussie people stand up proud.
Do you know these people?
Be our voice, say it loud. Aussie people stand up proud. Be our voice, say it loud. Freedom, freedom for China. Freedom for China.
Let me keep going down the line.
We want freedom for China.
Let me keep going down the line with these other guys.
Freedom, freedom for China. 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 The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated.
Wow.
The people united will never be defeated.
So what you have here is a group of generally using.
Open borders, close the camps, let the Chinese people free. Open borders, close the camps, let the Chinese people free. 言论自由，言论自由，言论自由，言论自由，言论自由，言论自由，新闻自由，新闻自由，新闻自由，新闻自由。新闻自由，新闻自由，出版自由，出版自由，出版自由，出版自由。From freedom for China!
So for those wondering what's happening here, you've got a group of traditionally communist, socialist, social life activists associated. Well received by the crowd, very well received.
Please do not report me and please don't send any video including my face. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm good.
Warren!
Yeah, that's it.
Good to see you, dude. Good to see you.
Dana, right?
Name?
Warren.
Oh,
That's it.
finally nice to meet you.
Yeah. So.
做出来。It's a crowd, you know. A lot of people in this crowd coming up to me. Warren, Andrew, and so it's a lot of cross-party. Well, maybe not unity, but it's certainly participation. Yeah, cross-party participation. People who are socialist-leaning, socialist right-leaning, social left-leaning, all kinds of. School kids, some young school kids going past, holding up some A4 sheets of paper over there.
You can say in Mandarin, and then just tell me exactly what you said in English later, straight after. Because I have to transcribe it, brother.
Just a quotation.
I don't want to. What you're saying. But I can't. I don't know how to speak Mandarin, so I have to write it. So my colleague can help me also.
Okay.
Well, let's see how we go. Probably should get one in Mandarin.
This lady would like to see if it's worse in Mandarin.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Can I get something as well?
Well, probably.
See if I can do more of a walk and talk. It's amazing just the quantity. We're not really corporate media. Shit.
Oh yeah.
I think it's
not all the time, but most of the time.
The mainstream loves this, but if you're talking about the social left, yes, the social left are throwing daggers this way. Yeah, whatever.
You know.
Yeah.
Fucking waste of 5 minutes.
我不知道我朗读我们的宪法会有什么错误。
您为什么今天出来？
因为我的家人在中国，因为我家里真的有亲人，他们3月在上海，他们现在在乌鲁木齐，我是过了是什么？
习近平应该上来吗？
我觉得他在任期间。不知道怎么说好，对不起。
Come just slightly this way so his eyes are there. Okay, reporting.
各位，作为一个个人记者来到这里，我是为了记录历史，因为我很高兴看到这么多人来自不同的文化。
Sorry, can you start again? Okay, my bad. 3, 2.
各位，我作为一个个人记者，很高兴来到这里记录这一个历史时刻。我很高兴，因为这么多的人来自不同的国家，拥有不同的文化背景，说着不同的语言。 有各种不一样的政见，但是我们来到这里，因为我们追求普世价值，追求自由、民主，还有我们个人的权利、人权，这是为什么我们能团结在这里。时代的一粒沙落在一个人头上，就是一座山。国家走了一些弯路，对于个人来说，就是毁了一辈子。我们已经数不清有多少人因为这3年的政策，跳楼的跳楼，自杀的自杀。而共产党自从毛泽东掌权以后，大跃进、文革，再到89、64，再到 COVID， 已经有数不清的代价被牺牲，并且他们的嘴也都被捂住。这样情况应该终结了。所以这就是为什么我想来到这里，发出我的声音，支持这些人。
Okay, that was long. No, we just need to quiet. What's on the speech? There's a speech.
I'm going to move around the crowd and ask some people some more questions if I can over here. Excuse me, mate. Are you okay if we have a chat?
No worries. Yeah,
sweet. No, you're fine.
Okay,
I'm not going to move you around. They're far more specific than me. Simple questions. A lot of people won't understand what this protest is about. My audience is mainly Australian-based.
Yes.
Tell us, why have you come tonight?
So, there has been. Can we start again? Sorry, I was just making.
I'm live streaming, so it's perfect. This is all going out live.
中国人也敢抗争！中国人也敢抗争！白纸革命万岁！白纸革命万岁！中国人也敢抗争！中国人也敢抗争！共产党下台！下台！下台！共产党下台！下台！共产党下台！习近平下台！习近平下台！习近平下台！共产党下台！共产党下台！共产党下台！
Sir, do you still want to chat?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
Tell us, very briefly, why are we here?
So there are massive protesting in Shanghai, Beijing, and Chongqing, but the catalyst is 10 people lost their lives. That's the official saying. But we've heard that 44 people have lost their lives in the fire in Urumqi. However, they died because they can't escape. The door was blocked by the party because the COVID policies, and people are so mad about it. And the youngest of that was only 3 years old. So we are just deeply sad, upset about it, and that's why people are protesting. And not to mention that we are unhappy about the authority, about President Xi. It's been a long time. That's why we're protesting.
Is it possible to decouple the protest against Xi? And this is just about the lockdowns. Is this just about the lockdowns, or
it's about the lockdown, and it's about the President Xi, because the President Xi wouldn't choose an open policy, and he is the dictator. So, of course, we're gonna blame on him.
So they go hand in hand. They go hand in hand.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of people in Australia. I cover a lot of anti-lockdown protests that have happened here in Sydney and in Melbourne.
Yes.
Have you seen any of those?
I've seen those.
Is it something you can relate to, or do you think it's a completely different situation?
I think we could learn something from it. However, protest is sort of illegal in China. The authority and the police wouldn't let the people do it, and that's why we are protesting. Because why? I'm holding this sign. It's a road in Shanghai called the Urumqi Road. And why I'm holding this, because lots of people was arrested in the protest in Shanghai. And this is a healthy. Okay, I didn't know the truth, but I heard that a girl was shot, was executed by shooting last night, just in Shanghai. And I think, I'm in Australia. I enjoy freedom. But the people over there, the land I love, the people I care, it's suffering. So I think definitely we should support them, give them energy. Yes.
Got it. Okay, great. There you go. Freedoms, liberty.
Liberty, democracy is what people deserve.
Would you go as far as to call yourself a libertarian? Are you even from? Do you know what the word libertarian?
I know the word libertarian. I don't practice any, politician or political concepts. I just deeply care about these people. That's what it is. I don't believe in any organizations.
Do you know any political organizations that do resent, like any parties that are?
Honestly, I don't know.
Okay.
In China, there's only one party.
Yep.
The Communist Party.
Yep.
And this is not right.
Yep.
And another thing is, perhaps Australians want to know that in China, people don't have the concept that government, party, and the constitution is different.
Separation.
People think they're the same. So lots of people are protesting. The other one thinks that we are betraying our nation. But no, I'm protesting because I'm patriotic. This is what it is. Yes.
Lovely. My name's Chris, streaming on Chris Coveries.
Nice to meet you, I'm Kevin.
What was it?
Kevin.
Nice to meet you. I hope we see each other again.
Hope so.
Thank you. Bye bye.
在天安门广场镇压了学生和市民，33年后，中共又犯下了滔天的罪行。中国人民不能忘记我们的耻辱，我们要站起来，大声对他们说 “No”。
Yeah, 33 years ago, Chinese government used tanks to crack down the citizens and the students, and then after 33 years, the government is doing exactly the same thing and cracking down citizens. And Chinese people should not forget what the government did, and we need to stand up and say no.
That's great. That's really great. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's good. I'm good. She's good.
Can I get? No. I want to talk to you. I'm just wondering. They're very good guys. Do you want to have a talk to Tong? Tong's a pretty cool guy. He's got a cool camera. Have a go. Go, Tong.
Oh, you want to say something? 你想说点什么吗？什么都可以。
我想说，33年前，我因为反对共产党在天安门广场上的大屠杀，我坐牢3年。因为我是中文笔会的作家，我写了很多文章。共产党监控了我20年。13年前我到了澳洲，想不到共产党在33年后依然荼毒人民、屠杀人民、镇压人民、迫害人民。我们不能让这个历史的悲剧一直延续下去，我们应该站出来，所有的人都应该站出来，大声地说 “No”。
Can I ask you about your sign, sir?
我坐牢的罪名居然是聚众扰乱。
I saw a very similar sign at Eastwood not long ago.
Yes.
Isn't this offensive?
No, I think because they use very vulgar words. But this one, most people they don't know how to pronounce his name. So even in Mandarin speakers, people they don't know how to.
Would it be offensive to take this sign to Eastwood and hold it up? Would you consider that offensive, like in Eastwood Plaza?
That word, I think, a little bit offensive. But this one is okay.
This one's okay?
Yeah.
You thought the one at Eastwood?
Cool, yeah, because that one is, the F word. Because in my view, I don't want to use any F words. Yeah.
共产党下台！共产党下台！习近平下台！习近平下台！
It's just dropped on the ground. Someone's going to pick it up.
I'm going to pick it up. You joined the protest.
I guess so.
You're a protester now.
Probably.
Welcome to the protest. Let me see if I can step over here because. Can we have a chat? Nice to meet you. My name's Chris. Hello. Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Tell us, why have you come tonight?
为什么今天晚上过来？
支持上海人民反对清零政策。
Support Shanghai people and fight against COVID-0 policies.
Is this a protest against lockdowns?
这是反对，就是封闭的那个 lockdown 的那个。
反对中共的所有的独裁政策。
It's anti-CCP's authoritarian policies, basically.
中共独裁对我们的澳大利亚造成了巨大的威胁。
And the CCP's existence and their policies are also a threat to Australia.
中国 CCP 的红色渗透正一步一步腐蚀、侵害、危害着我们的澳洲。
What China is doing in Australia is also hurting Australia's base. Yeah, it's gradually.
So this is not a protest against lockdowns, just against CCP Xi Jinping.
I mean, it's from the lockdown, but it's also more about the whole CCP.
Do you feel lockdowns in Australia, America, UK were too much as well?
你觉得就是在澳洲、美国这些国家的 lockdown 有没有也比较多？
Or just right?
对，还是差不多。
lockdown
就是那个那个封锁，就不让出门啊什么这种。
澳洲的防疫政策很好。I like Australia. 我是澳洲公民。I like 澳洲。
If Australia is about right.
About right. Okay, cool.
Australia citizen, but I like Australia.
Like Australia. Yeah. Freedom, democracy.
Freedom, democracy, always.
Which political parties reflect your views of freedom and democracy in Australia?
在澳洲的政党里面，你有没有就是支持某一个澳洲的
？Yes, I 支持自由党。
She prefers Liberal Party.
Liberal Party.
但是
Just that.
我希望民主党不要向共产党妥协。
民主党，你说工党是吧？
工党。
And she hopes that the Labour Party is not boiled down to CCP.
Thank you. Tell her live streaming on Discoveries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ryan.
Is it Jeffrey?
Say again?
Jeffrey?
Oh, Jeffrey used to be around here somewhere. Yeah, he is here. Jeffrey's here.
I didn't see him. Yeah.
I don't know exactly where Jeff is, but
yeah.
No, he is here. Say who? He's too tall.
Yeah, I know.
I'm going to keep moving around. Thank you. Oh, Roger's left. Roger's got what they needed and they left. G'day, mate. I was just saying, Roger's got what they needed and they left. Yeah, cool. Okay. My kit's heavy too. Look at this. I'm going to hold with 2 hands.
I want that kit.
All these SMIs, Sony's coming. Have you convinced your bosses to consider?
We do have some of them, but
yeah, they are.
They've been paid for already, so.
They're already paid for. Thanks, mate. Thanks. Are you okay to talk on camera? No. Can we talk on camera? No. Hello. Come over here, and there we go. Hello.
Can I keep the mask on or?
Yeah, keep the mask on.
Okay.
Keep the mask on.
Yeah.
My name's Chris, and I wanted to ask you.
Sorry, it's fogged up.
You can take the mask off if you want. It's totally up to you. Totally up to you.
Yes, sure.
No, I love.
Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to talk.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
Simple one. Why have you come tonight?
Because I'm originally from China. I love my motherland, and I can see that the people in my motherland are suffering, and and they are fighting back at the moment. So I would like to show solidarities in free countries to let them know that they are not alone, and people are spreading the word, and the people are supporting them everywhere.
Are you here tonight to ask for reform or revolution?
I'm not sure. I think right now what people really want is to stop the zero COVID policy, because it is really ruining people's lives, and every day from all sorts of backgrounds. That's what people want at the moment, and that's what we should be focused on at this moment.
Victoria, the Australian state of Victoria, pursued a zero COVID policy for a time, as we did here in New South Wales, and many other countries did as well. Do you think that was a mistake, or do you think that was about right?
I don't think that was a mistake at the time, because the virus was different, obviously, and then at the time that Australia was not ready to open up because we didn't have enough vaccines for everyone, thanks to Scott Morrison. But then things changed with the virus got less deadly, and we had the vaccine, and we had proper plans to open up to let people go back to normal life. That's really important. People can't just stay at home, and somebody has to make money, somebody has to care for their loved ones. So, and they are still pursuing zero COVID policy in China, which is ridiculous because no one else is doing it right now. And then for what?
Do you think other countries should also abandon a zero COVID policy, or just China?
I think, when? What do you mean?
Do you think, for example, if Australia has a takeoff of cases, do you think we should pursue a zero COVID policy, or do you think zero COVID's dead, gone? We just can't. We've got to live with it.
What do you think? What do you think we're still live under zero COVID policy? Obviously, we are not, and we are having a normal life, and the medical system is not overrun, and so I think that's the right thing to do in the current circumstances.
Great. Channel is Chris Discoveries. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for your chat. My name's
No worries,
Chris.
thank you.
Bye.
Are you sorry? Which channel are you with?
Chris Discoveries. It's a portrait of Chris and Discoveries.
Okay, cool.
Facebook,
No worries.
YouTube, Twitter.
Okay, cool. No worries.
Let's keep going down here. Anyone chat? No. Any camera? Does anyone want to have a chat? Have a chat? Okay. That's a fire safe. That's quite a fire safe. Are we okay to have a chat on camera? Can we do that? Not sure.
My English not good.
That's okay. That's okay. You stand next to a gentleman who's got a sign here and got some flowers. I might ask. You're okay to have a chat on camera?
I'm okay.
You're okay? No more PCR testing. We want a living. No more lockdowns. We want freedoms. No more lies. We require votes. This is a call for reform. A lot of reform there. Not a simple list.
Not a simple list.
Is it a call for reform, or is it a call for revolution?
Revolution. That's what it needs.
There's a lot of people there's a lot of people in the Politburo who would be like, oh,
If you think about it, mate, the Communist Party of China is nothing more than a mafia. They are not a legitimate government. The people did not elect them. They didn't choose them. That's where I'm coming from.
How do you feel about the Republican Party? I'm not sure if you're a Republican.
I loathe them. I'm not American. I'm Canadian. And the reason I'm standing here is what Xi Jinping did to my Prime Minister last week.
You don't have a far-right party. Wait.
No, we don't.
You've got a conservative party, but it's not.
It's a conservative party.
You were not happy about what happened with Trudeau?
Of course I'm not happy with what happened with Trudeau.
Why?
Well, what reason did Xi Jinping have to abuse another head of state publicly? There's no excuse for it. You know what? You know what the Chinese Politburo has forgotten? When China was starving in 1961, we were the ones who fed them. Nobody else. Read your history, mate.
Do you think they'd return the favor these days?
No, they don't return the favor. They don't even know.
Thanks for the chat. On Chris Discoveries. Channel is Chris Discoveries. Thanks for the chat. Libertarian chat. Give me liberty or give me death. We've got the social left and the social right here. The social left's already told me to leave, or else violence may come to me. So let's meet. Oh yeah, very quickly. Yeah, 4 people crunched up and good to see you again. How you going? Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Keep going along here. You nice. You ended up right in front of the spotlights with SBS and Reuters. How'd you do?
I'm so glad to do the interview. I'm so glad to.
I got a bit of it for you. You can check it out later on, but it was not bad.
不要文革要改革，不要领袖要选票，不要领袖要选票，不做奴才做公民，不做奴才做公民。罢免独裁国贼习近平，罢免独裁国贼习近平。习近平下台，习近平下台，习近平下台，大学生下台。
200斤下台，200斤下台，200斤200斤下台，200斤下台。OK， 不知道200斤什么梗的？习近平说他曾经扛着200斤的麦子不换肩。
Yes, I've got to find the guy with the fuck communism shirt and ask him what he thinks of the communists being here. See if I can swing through this crowd. I'll go this way if I can. Thank you. Give me some space.
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
And
Fuck CCP! Yes! Yes!
Yeah, let me get. Yeah, Jeff, give me 1 second. I'll talk to him. Let me chase him down. Excuse me, sir. No, he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to, Jeff. All good.
Fuck the Chinese government! Fuck the Chinese government! Fuck CCP! Fuck CCP! Fuck the police! Fuck the police!
Chris, please.
I'll give you guys some space. It's funny that these guys, that actually, it's the local Australian Anglos who are more sensitive about cameras than anyone else who've been here. For those who've seen this for a while, I was actually having a look at Eastwood, and I've run into about 10 or 12 different people here who've approached me and regarded as awfully good. So, yeah, it's awfully funny that the Anglo-Australians are more upset and the European Australians are more upset than those who actually have family in China. But that's an interesting one, isn't it? Yeah, it is interesting. Okay. G'day, my name's Chris. I stream on Chris Discoveries. Turn that down. Now you know what it's like because you've always got the light on the person. Now you know
I
I
don't need it. So why are you? You stream for who?
I stream for Chris Discoveries, and I ask people
Discovery.
I stream on Chris Discoveries, and I ask people why they come to protests, and I also film behind the scene as well. Talk to people about their gear and things like that. Reuters, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. What are you running there?
What?
Your camera.
It's a CX350.
And it's not interchangeable. It's an older style camcorder.
Do you mind? I'm just. Yeah.
Well, you called me over. You
I'm asking what you're doing, but I just want to say hi.
Hi.
But now you're recording. I thought you were recording.
I live stream
camera.
events just like that. So you called me over, actually.
Actually, I'm just asking. Yeah, no, I just to introduce myself, say where you're from. That was all.
Yeah. Now we're having a conversation.
Yeah, are you recording me?
We're going out live. This is a live stream. This is what I do.
Okay.
But you keep on putting your hand up to my
I don't want to be
camera.
on camera. I'm working. I don't
But
want
you called me over.
Just say hi.
Okay.
Hi. There you go.
So.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
So this is something that you'll find often. Is a large. What are you doing? Excuse me, mate. This is something that you find with larger corporate media is that we're just very used to being on one side of the camera. When it happens on the other side, it's deeply uncomfortable, and it is a real change when you're on one side of the camera and it happens on the other. It is a real change. Clinton, do you know what I mean?
I think you sort of wait. I think we had a chat at the Monarchist run, I believe.
Yep.
I think that journalist over there probably should have considered a career politics instead of actually journalism. But anyway,
it does happen. Warren, have you got a second? Have you run into corporate media before? Large corporate. Yeah, you probably haven't seen this, but something that you often end up with, and this is not just corporate media, but also Aussie Cossack and different creators. People who are used to holding the camera aren't used to a new revolution is happening in media, where oftentimes people are on the other end of it, and it's deeply uncomfortable. I come across this all the time. Have you ever seen some of this?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
yeah, that's right.
If I ever go there with the SBS guys, it's really uncomfortable for them. It's really uncomfortable. It becomes part of the scene. Okay. Even though one of my parts is actually, Dana, you've seen my part on Gear Talk.
I have.
It's getting to such a point, I'm not sure if you saw the last protest, I had someone come up to me and be like, Chris, talk to me about my gear. It was fantastic. But
sorry, Warren.
Clinton,
yes, I know you on Facebook. Yeah.
Oh, no,
Can I meet? Right?
I'm not using this outfit. I came straight from the soccer game. Then,
well, we came from the same game.
Same game, yeah. I goal, so I played that. Yep.
If I can introduce Clinton, still part of the Liberal Democrats, I think.
Yes, of course.
One-time state president, federal.
One-time local council.
Yep.
Out in Campbelltown. Yes.
Yep.
No, it's
one-time councillor, sat on the state executive.
Yes.
So why are you here tonight?
Look, I think it's I think people in Australia need to know a bit more about the horrors of communism. You know, you look at the 3 biggest massacres in world history. 2 of them were directly from communist regimes. The 3rd was a partially socialist regime as well. Mm-hmm. The idea that you pit people against each other based on sort of a jealousy is a very dangerous idea, and it tends to result in massacres. So I think it's worth taking a stand against. I don't know the details of what's happening in China, but it doesn't sound good, and love to hear from the Chinese people that are here, and I think it's quite scary that a lot of Chinese people here that are intimidated, which shouldn't be happening in this country. Here to learn.
Struggling to. I'm going to circle in a little bit further, but what do you make of? You've seen some of the Australian Communist Party here tonight, the social left, just over there. Does that strike you as unusual or odd, or do you think it's a good fit here?
I'm not sure where they stand on this issue.
Tonight, when they held the loudspeaker, a group of affiliated, just as the anti-lockdown, when they say there's a couple of Nazis in the group, it becomes a Nazi rally. If they have a couple of Australian Communist Party people with them, I get to use the same term and call them Australian Communist Party group. That's fine. That's how it works. You've got one of them, then that's it.
Yep.
And especially such a small group of about 10 or 15. So what do you think of the Australian Communist Party and their loudspeaker tonight?
I may have missed them the first 10 minutes.
You probably did, but what do you think of them? Can you...
I don't know if they're pro-CCP or anti-CCP, but they're probably quite conflicted, I imagine.
If they're here tonight and what they were saying, they stand with China, they stand with democracy.
They stand with China?
Yes.
As in
the Chinese people.
Chinese people. That's good. That's good. Sometimes it's nice to have sort of allies on an issue. I doubt it's universal. I'm sure it's not universal among the left in Australia. It's good that the ones here are on side, but I know there's a lot of division there.
If I dare say...
UAP? Hey, no, you've grabbed someone else's signs. Oh, there we go. Someone was just walking past with some UAP, United Australia Party signs. Sorry about that.
Yeah, well, that's something.
Dana, what do you think of the odd cross-party? Hey, how's it going? What's brought you here tonight?
I just followed some friends over here.
You just followed some friends?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah.
And you're just holding up some signs, and then that's it. Cool, I'll leave you to it. Dana, what do you think of the odd cross-party unity that's happening tonight? The cross-compass unity where you've got some social...
The impression I get from the crowd over there is they think communism, socialism, whatever you want to call it, it just needs to be perfected. Mm-hmm. And so you've got the CCP, they've gone
Go ahead.
They've gone down the wrong route of communism, and I suppose our communist/socialist friends here, they think they know better. Because real communism, real socialism hasn't been tried. Do you know that? It hasn't been tried.
Your parents and grandparents experienced that.
Yeah.
That would be a lived experience, wouldn't it?
It would. And I bet you if I was to share that with them right now, their explanation would be something like, oh yeah, that really sucked. But we've got the solution.
I think they'd find such a discussion quite deeply uncomfortable.
So if we start to talk about the solution, they'll start to get very uncomfortable.
Can I ask you, what do you think of the something I've got to raise tonight is I'm noticing the large media orgs with the big cameras trying to get people to do things. Can you like again? And look, I know it needs to be staged in that way, but
I get a feeling that the unique selling proposition tonight was that you might have a pro-Beijing fool who just rocks up and crashes it. That's what they want.
Yep.
They want to be there to grab that story first. Unfortunately for them, you're here.
Not happening tonight. I'm just going to grab this gentleman here. I just had a run-in with the other. Excuse me, sir. Are you okay if I talk to you on camera? Oh, good. We'll be with it. If you come to a rally without a mask and you don't want to talk on camera, at this rally, if you're wearing a mask, I'm kind of I turn it away and see how we go with that one. We haven't had a chance to properly speak. I spoke with your friend, but not otherwise.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, that kid with that was there before. He put his mask on, so he's good to go now. If you want to talk to him,
he does want to talk.
Well, he didn't without his mask on, and then he put his mask on. He's good now.
I'd love to if he's ready to talk now.
Oh, he's gone though.
He's gone.
It's a Hong Kong. He's one of the Hong Kong.
There's a lot of. I'm going to say, Jeff. There's a lot of tension right now between me and the social left. The social left is very unhappy.
Oh yeah, I know. Why?
What, are they not happy with you, or?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Grabbing camera, trying to push me away, telling me to leave. I'm not welcome here. And it's funny because people keep coming like.
Sunday, it's like the one time
Chris
that we actually agree
Eastwood
with you. I know.
I was trying to highlight with a group of other conservatives who are here. There's a lot of cross-compass unity.
Yeah, I was going to say, good on them.
And I'll clip it out later, but no, it didn't last long.
No.
Because I asked them one question, which is, you're anti-lockdown, right?
Yeah.
And they said yes, and I went, but I saw several of them at pro-lockdown rallies earlier in the year. Last year. I'm like, you're anti-lockdown, but you went to pro-lockdown rallies. I don't understand.
All right, all we can do is when we agree with each other, we agree with each other. That's work on what we agree on, and what we can agree on is that we deserve freedom.
Yep.
And the Chinese people deserve freedom.
Yep.
And that I think people are better off being left alone than by their governments.
I don't mind if people have different issues in different countries. That's okay. It's just trying to.
Here it is.
Can we talk?
Yeah, you can talk now. Come on.
You ready for a sandstorm?
No, but not my face in it. Not with my face in it, then.
Well, what just film your feet.
I've got friends involved that are arrested over nothing, man.
What if I'll be on camera? All good. You had we heard Jeff called me over because he's like, hey, talk to this guy. You've got some views on this, but have you got a Canadian American accent?
Yes.
So you grew up in the States, and tell us your story.
I'm reluctant to reveal, my backstory, my background. I fear that might jeopardize my personal safety in any way.
Tell us what you can tell us.
Yeah. What I am obligated to say tonight is that, the CCP has been oppressing us for way too long. Mm-hmm. Our people has been silent for way too long. Mm-hmm. We have been oppressed, bullied, and just bullied into submission and consensus. I think what happened in China over the past few days shows that the people actually finally had enough.
To bring politics relative to Australia, what parties in Australia do you think reflect or resonate with you on this issue?
Well, for me personally, I think that the Labour Party. As I said before, I can reveal that I am not from here, and frankly, I don't know much about the political situation here in Australia. But I can say that. If you dig down deep into some of the transaction that has gone on between China and state governments of Australia, you can find a rabbit hole. You see all sorts of conflicts of interests.
Is this protest an anti-lockdown protest to you, an anti-CCP protest to you, a pro-democracy? What is this protest to you?
For me, it's a cry out for freedom.
Cry out for freedom? So all of the issues I mentioned, or?
I think it is more fundamental than that.
Right.
It is the people yearning for their liberty.
Yep.
It is them seeking to obtain what we in the Western world take for granted.
Yep. Oh, good. Thank you. Thank you for your chat. Talk to me. Excuse me.
Yep.
Tell us, how did that go?
Yeah, so these people, they keep supporting the socialism, but they have to argue that China right now is not socialism. They have to support the Chinese socialism to save Chinese people. To me, that's a completely... I can't comprehend any of the things that he said. And I told him my personal story because I grew up in China and I moved to Australia only when I reached about 20 years old. And my parents grew up in China, great-grandparents, the parents, they all grew up in China. I have my full family history in China. I know full well what's going on in China. And he basically said I was delusional and he's never been to China. I think he was fully right. So that's a little bit hard for me to comprehend.
You know, there's a word. I'm just going to make up. There's a word for what just happened to you. You got white-splained. A white man went up to you and told you how it was. Because apparently you don't. You don't know what it is.
Exactly. Apparently, when I told him...
That is a thing, isn't it?
You
just did.
That's fucking racist.
Exactly. So apparently...
That's racist.
Well, yeah, kind
All
of
that
is.
about white men was being a racist.
It kind of was. I mean, it's something that you and your family experienced. You saw.
Exactly. So I told him, right?
Can we talk over? Sorry, just it's probably missed half of that. Can we say? So you've had an experience with your family. What happened that you can speak for yourself?
So basically, I still have many contacts in China, and I know full well that it's only a small minority in China that's against the CCP. And even within that small minority in China right now, most of them are against CCP because of 3 years of lockdown.
But what happened with the white European gentleman over there that came to speak, that you had a conversation with? How did that?
So he basically saying most of them in China is against CCP. It's a myth that most of the people in China support CCP. I'm saying, how do you know it's a myth? I lived in China. My parents lived in China. My grandparents lived in China. And it's our experience, right? It's our day-to-day experience that we know that most of the people in China are still being brainwashed into supporting the CCP.
Right.
And the gentleman over there, he's saying, no, you're delusional. Most of the people in China are against the CCP.
Where did he get this info? Where is he getting, what?
He's saying because of these protests today showed him most of the people in China support the CCP. I was against the CCP. And I was like, what? This is like... These people are nothing. There's like less than 1,000 people here today. Do you know how many people living in one apartment in China? Probably 2,000 people living in one apartment in China.
There's roughly 1 million Chinese Australians living in Australia. Like 1 million. And we have 100, 200 here.
100, 200 here.
They don't know. They don't know how many. Okay, all right. But you tried to explain otherwise, right? You know that you've got family. And he refused to accept it, or?
He refused to accept it completely. And he then goes on to say that only socialism can save China.
Sorry, say that again.
He goes on and says only socialism can save China.
He says socialism can save...
Can save China. And I was like, well, China's bad, right? Because I consider China today as state capitalism. But if you look at the livelihoods of average Chinese person today compared to when China was actually under socialist control on the Mao, people today actually are well off financially. So state capitalism is better than socialism, right? But in Australia, obviously, we have capitalism, we have democracy. That's so far better than state capitalism. But anyhow, I do believe state capitalism is better than socialism. Socialism is the worst form, right? And this gentleman over there argues socialism is the only thing that saves China. And when I told him, if you just compare the numbers, right, between when China was under Mao, under the socialist system, to under today's state capitalist system on the Xi, people actually still better off today, even though, it's a very bad condition over there. Because people still living in a better society today than back in the day when they were living under socialism.
Let me see if I can ask some of the other people coming up to the group there, because do you understand the kind of social left, social right divide that Australia and the West is kind of going through, that schism?
Yeah. I understand, because I do have friends that in the Labour Party who consider himself as a Labour right. So
Yeah.
I
Labour
understand.
right, yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's the thing. The gentleman over there that just had a chat with me, he considers Dan Andrew. He considered Dan Andrew as a far right.
Yeah.
So that's his position.
Yep.
He considered Dan Andrew as a far right. I'm just like, that's mind-boggling. Because to me, I simply cannot comprehend.
It's the reason why they justify violence against me. And earlier, you may not have seen earlier on, they were, they said that I need to get out of here or else.
Oh, yeah. I was next,
their group has been violent against me more than once. Broken plenty of gear and equipment. And, but yeah, Jeff Wang is currently trying to have a conversation with them. We'll see how that's out. We'll come back to him a little bit later on. Thanks for the chat, mate. I'm going to keep moving on. How you going?
I'm good. Yeah, so you have interviewed her?
Yeah, we had it. We had.
To tell her why you're asking me about the blanket.
Can you do something for me?
Yes,
do you
what?
see where Jeff Wang? Do you see where that group of people, the white guys, European people over there? They want me to leave. Can you ask them why?
Oh, okay. Who?
Yeah, come with me for a second. Come with me for a second. I want you to meet some. I want you to meet some friends of mine and have a chat with them and explain to them a little bit more about me. Have a chat to them.
Okay.
These are some friends of mine. Please have a chat.
I'm not your friend.
I know. Just have it explain to them Eastwood, a little bit of background around that, and ask them why they want me to leave.
He's just a reporter. What? He's just a reporter, just to get the news and post on.
Have a good
So
chat.
he's a freedom of speech and freedom of media and so on. So he's doing that.
But I don't think, the right-wing figures should co-opt the media.
It's true.
I don't understand.
Do you understand what he means?
I don't understand.
So what we have is kind of a schism in Australia where, how would you describe it?
Because I'm not talking to you, bro.
So, okay, sure. We'll talk through a mutual.
Yeah.
So what we have is a schism where we've got people who want me to leave because he feels that I'm far right. And you can ask him why.
I'm not talking to you, Chris.
Okay, but
Not talking to you.
You see how he walks away and he says, I'm not talking to you? It's because I'm far right.
What is by far right?
Oh, how do we
I don't
explain that?
understand the concepts.
You have to ask him. You have to ask him because to him, far right is so many things. Everything. We're reaching a point where so many things are racist, sexist.
Okay.
I'm transphobic. I'm a Nazi. I'm a fascist. Do you know these terms? So I'm all of these things.
Okay. Why do you have to? Do you know him before?
I've run him to other rallies before. How do I explain, Dana? How do you explain this schism that we're going through in the West?
Because he doesn't have the same political views as him.
Oh yeah.
Therefore, he is the enemy.
Okay, but it doesn't. But because in a democratic society, everyone can have their own view.
No,
it
he
doesn't
doesn't
matter.
think so. He doesn't think so.
Yeah. So
he thinks
it's
everyone should agree with him.
It's a personal thing, so it doesn't matter. We don't bother. There are always people who don't want others' view.
No, there are large groups of people. There are large groups of people who feel. I think you're transphobic.
So I'll give you an example. So I'm a trans woman. As I'm transgender, but because I don't have his political views, I'm a nobody. So these people would say go to a protest to protest for trans rights, but they won't do it for me because I'm not. They think I'm not on their side. I mean, I'm not on their side, but I'm because I don't fit into their idea of a trans person who's meant to be politically on their side. I'm a nobody. I'm just.
But there are always people. But I just don't bother about any other people's view. Well, I don't bother about whether they accept it. Don't.
It's a lot to go through.
For him, it's very important.
It's important. I don't know why it's important, but anyway.
I think most Australians would say the same thing as what you said.
Most do. It does tend to be a fringe.
It don't bother me. It will not bother
Except
me.
those who work in media, who work in finance, who work in the cities. But it's a lot of time. I will try and explain again, but go ahead and ask him and see if we can get him to explain, because
I don't bother about him.
He's-
That's why I
he's-
convince him, or he has his own
Oh,
view.
no, no.
That's fine.
he's a lot there. But let's go and have a chat with, see if we can have a chat with Jeff over here. I'm going to see if I can find Jeff.
May,
See how he
I
went.
have no interest of
He's with,
Already got some. Yeah, already got some.
Bye,
Jeff.
what is it?
这个钱我也挣了。有钱一家一起赚嘛，就是有钱大家一起赚，对吧？
I'll see if I can chat. Tell us, how did your chat go with the social left?
Oh, the social left, I think, believes that look, they think you're a fascist.
Yes. Nazi? Did they say Nazi?
Yeah,
Good.
I was
Let's
trying
keep
to
going with the bingo.
explain to them the irony of accusing someone of being a fascist and not wanting to talk. I mean, the whole point of a free society is so that we have free discourse, so we have free speech. You know, if you
You
can't
mean
see
the
to
opposite,
understand-
unlike China?
Well, you know, I like to think, yeah, exactly. So the irony of them acting like them and not realizing they're basically part of the problem.
Were you able to understand more? Did they tell you some more? Did you learn some more?
No, but what I was worried about is Australia. If we keep going down this path and not calling out this bullshit, you know, that's where we're heading down, mate. So, yeah, a bit worried.
There's a guy wearing a helmet and he's got a camera on his, like a side.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I wonder what's that. That's all about.
Problem is, if you show up at protests with a motorcycle helmet and a camera on it, you look like you're ready for a fight, and you don't always.
I am curious to know, what's with the get up.
Yes, you probably have seen my streams.
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Are you okay?
All
I'm
over
going
the
to spin
COVID
this around
streams.
if I can.
Yeah,
COVID streams? Good day.
Yeah, g'day,
Chris,
how are you?
what's your
George.
name? Hey, George.
How's
So you've
it
seen my
going,
streams before? Good on you.
I've seen your streams before, yeah.
Yep.
So you cover a lot of protests, yeah. But
why'd you come down tonight?
Why'd I come down tonight? Well, I was walking home.
Yep.
I was going to get the tram, and then I saw this happening, so I just joined on the end of it. I said, "What the hell? Let's do it."
What do you think? What do you reckon about it all?
Hey?
What do you reckon about it all?
What do I think about it all? Well, you know what? You know what it is.
Can you interpret? Tell us. What do you think, mate?
Guys, I just wonder what are they actually doing? No matter how loud they are, the CCP won't hear them.
Take
it's
a
in Australia here.
Take a moment. It's an imperfect
It's okay,
stream.
I'm just confused.
No problem. Take a moment. Tell us again. You didn't quite get your sentence out there. Say again.
Well, are you recording?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm live
So
streaming.
which media are you from?
My name's Chris. I live stream on Chris Discoveries. Nice to meet you.
I just wanted this would never make a difference. That's what I mean. Because this will only work if that happens in China.
It's happening in China.
Yes, only if that happens in China. Because.
So are you saying they should go back to China?
Exactly.
And do this?
Otherwise,
would you do it?
What?
Would you go to China and do it as well?
Well, not in the same way.
What would you do then?
Well, because I'm a former member of Australian Communist Party.
Australian Communist Party?
Yes, I was a former member of
There's a couple
CPA.
your friends in there. You should come and visit your friends.
Well,
there's a couple of your friends
Take
on
one
the
of these.
social
No,
left
show
here.
the camera. Show the camera. Show the camera. That's the way.
This is not my paper. Take it back.
It's not your paper, but you just held
But
it for
they're
us.
friends from they're friends
This
on
is
the
not my paper.
social
Take it
left.
back.
They're protesting right now. Do you want to go and
Well,
have a word to your friends?
I wouldn't believe these people were leftists. So that's all.
Here, take one of these for us.
What?
Just on the
What do you
back.
mean? What do you mean? Take this for you? How much are you going to pay me for?
I'll pay
How
you.
much are you going to pay me for holding this paper?
I'll pay you as much as you like.
As much as I like. Okay, 10 million, please.
10 million?
Yes.
Oh, come on. I can't.
I can provide my bank account and pay me right now so I can hold this
But
paper.
you're a communist.
So yes, I am a communist.
As a communist,
Yes.
you don't know what pay is. You only have ideology.
No.
Can I cut in on
This is a typical stereotype. What? I'm not holding this.
Can I have a more? Sorry, just give me 1 second. You said that you wouldn't identify with leftists over there. Why did you say that?
Well, because well, that is a tragedy that's that disaster. It is a disaster, but I don't think they. In my opinion, I don't think they know why that would happen. The real cause of that problem.
What?
I mean, I know they're protesting, but they just can't find out what the problem is.
Stalinist?
If I can,
I would claim I'm a Maoist, I'm a Leninist, but I'm not a Stalinist.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's the same thing. Do you know?
It's not the same. If you do believe that, which means you know nothing about history and politics. That's it.
I don't know nothing about history.
You don't know anything about it because you claim some completely different things to be the same.
Just let me talk. What's communist dogma? Apparently the inspector's already seen what's going on. A communist dogma
Well, there are plenty of resources.
Let me talk.
Yes, of course you can talk. You don't have a right to tell me to shut up.
Okay, shut up and let me talk.
Okay, the conversation is done.
No, conversation is not done. Bye-bye, communist.
See you later, communist. Okay, see you there.
What can I say? It's politics.
Yes, I'm a communist, so what?
I'll chase it. We'll chase it for a bit.
Demoralize? What do you mean by demoralize? That's exactly what developed countries are doing.
The country's economy through an invisible crisis. It takes 5 years for new normal or normalization. You would understand that being a communist.
Wait, are we fighting communists? Are you trying to condemn me?
Are we bashing communists?
Yeah, we are. We're building communists.
All right, let's bash it. I mean, wait. Is that the plan? Like, what are we doing here, man?
Yes, I am an Australian Communist Party, even though a formal member.
Dude.
So what?
He's bashing communists.
And why did you leave?
Because
you know it doesn't work.
Wait, dude, relax. This guy's a moron. He's a crackpot, man.
You should be
relax.
supporting your people.
Just listen to him.
I am a communist, so I won't support liberals.
We
I
have two
support
crackpots
leftists only.
Liberals are socialists.
Working class right,
And
not
and you know,
bourgeoisie.
are to be used at all purposes and then be lined up against the wall later on.
And especially not with imperialism.
See, the typical of the left. The left will run when you give them a debate.
Wait, what's the left?
He is the left.
He's the left. He's the enemy, is he? Hey, don't run away, buddy. We only have.
And that's how you diffuse communists. You stand up to them.
Okay. Wait. I'm a communist. Dude, stand up to me.
Are you a communist?
Can I join? How do you join communism?
I think you're just a fun guy.
No, I want to join so I could pit against. I mean, we're losing. We just lost the communists.
We just lost the communists.
Yeah, so like I'm the next communist. You okay, man?
I'm just as bad as Harvey, I think.
No, why do you hate the left, man? Why do you hate the left?
Why do we hate the left?
Yeah.
Because
Excuse me, gents. What did you think of that hullabaloo? Just watching.
They just couldn't have a good conversation. The other guy was just yelling. I didn't understand it. So I'm just enjoying the show.
You too?
Yeah, they're from French, but we're just enjoying the show. That's right.
See ya. Bye.
Isn't he allowed to have his say?
Some music. Visual?
No, I think it's a busker. Do you need some light? Do you need some light?
Fuck, honey.
Might ask. I think I can ask. Tell us, why have you come tonight?
Sorry, who are you?
Pardon me?
Who are you?
I'm asking you why you've come tonight. I go to protests and ask people. Sorry,
I'm
say again?
asking you who you are.
My name's Chris. I live stream protests and I ask people why. Tell us why you've come tonight.
No, thank you. I always ask people if I can interview them before I interview them. Yeah, no, thank you.
Thanks, Kirsty. Excuse me, sir. Can we have a chat?
No.
Oh, good. Thanks. Can I say it's of all the people I've spoken to tonight, it's Australian Euros who do not want to have a chat on camera. Chinese guys who don't want to have a chat. They'll just be like, yeah, not my move on. But they don't go through the filtration process of what your qualification, social class, status, background, job description, follower count, political ideology, corporation, university degree is before they have a chat. The Chinese guys who don't want to have a chat here are just like, I don't want to have a chat at all, or I do. And they don't care where you're coming from. But every media and Euro that's here, you've got to go through the filtration process before you can have a chat. And that says a lot.
Do you know why they don't speak? Because if they get identified, the CCP will...
Yeah, I know, I totally understand that. I totally understand that.
Family members.
I know. But Kirsty Needham over there from Reuters has no such fear. She is afraid of people who might be from wrong social class, wrong qualification, wrong news outlet. She only speaks to people of a similar journalist class, which are increasingly become our new priests of the cloth.
Oh, right, okay.
I've not had the greatest experience with Reuters, so this isn't a surprise. Really? That's a Reuters latest.
So, Chris, good to meet you finally.
You gonna go?
I'm George.
Nice to meet you, George.
I'm a staunch supporter.
Oh,
Hey, support him.
Yeah.
I might chase him away. I don't know.
Mate,
Let's go for a run.
I was looking for that guy to have a sensible conversation, so...
Yeah, so was I. That's what I say.
Accusing and throwing words didn't get us, but I know what you mean. He just ran away. We didn't need to chase him away.
Oh no, he was suffering from anxiety. Maybe he didn't have what it takes.
He was really anxious too.
Of course he would have been.
He was really anxious.
There's a whole crowd here against the CCP, and there he is. That's what I said. As I told him, join us. If you've left the CCP, join us.
Yep.
Huh? I asked him. I even asked him a question. Why did you leave? Because you know it's a failure.
What are we doing here anyway? Like I've
You're
been
just passing
asking. I've been asking everyone what the hell is going on.
It's a protest against the lockdowns in China.
Okay.
And therefore against the policies that people who implement the lockdowns in China, and therefore against the Chinese
I think
government.
my eye, man. Like you can shoot me, but don't like. Wow. Shit.
There we go. Right, and it's against all of those things.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. But why are people so angry?
Because people are being, as they say, literally welded into their homes.
He's got like a picture.
Go and ask him. Go and ask.
I think it's a her.
It is a what? That's okay. You can ask her too. You can ask her too. You can.
No,
all right. I gotta keep moving. All right.
All right, man.
I gotta keep moving. Hello.
What media are you from?
My name's Chris. I think I mentioned I'm streaming on Chris Discoveries.
You're from?
Chris.
No.
Portmanteau of Chris and Discoveries. Chris Discoveries.
Chris Discovery.
But tell me, why is that important?
I just want to know.
Oh, okay. I spoke with Reuters and others who come up to me and they want to know, what news agency you're with, and then beyond that, they were almost filtering you for your follower count, your qualifications, and what have you.
No, I'm just curious what media you're from. That's all.
Chris Discoveries. I live stream.
Chris Discovery. What is Chris Discovery?
What is Chris Discoveries?
It's your brand name.
It's my brand name. It's where I go to all kinds of protests and ask them why have you come, just like I did with you.
Right, and for what benefit? For what purpose? You're just looking for sort of off the wall things, or?
I think you're asking me why I started doing this, which is through BLM.
Except
I found
that's in my eye.
Okay, but let's rather than touching things like that. We'll just.
So everybody has a reason for doing what they do.
Sure. But rather than grabbing things, if I can say that through BLM, I found that the 30 to 60 second sound bites did not reflect with what I saw on the actual live streams.
Right.
It wasn't real. It was fake. It was edited, and it was driving me insane seeing news that I previously trusted gaslight me when I could see live streams like this one show me something completely different, and that they were lying. And I went, you know what? I'll go to protest and find out myself with my own protests that are happening here. And I just kept doing it. People seem to like it, and I like asking people why they've come rather than saying, so what you're saying is, that classic line.
You're putting words in my mouth. Yeah.
I don't want to do that. I want to be why.
Yeah, that's very interesting. I'm just curious why. That's all. I also wanted to satisfy myself that perhaps you weren't an agent of the CCP.
Oh, no. Well, actually, in this crowd, you'll find most people regard me as a hero against the CCP because I've been attacked a few times by people loyal to the CCP and hurt. And...
You realize that the CCP is nothing more than a mafia. It's just a criminal gang.
I just go to protest and ask people stuff. I just go to protest and ask people stuff, and that gets me in trouble. The social leftists here don't like me. Lots of people don't like when I just do exactly what I did with you.
That's all right. I have no problem. I was just curious. I mean, I feel sorry for all these Chinese students who are covering up in fear.
Yeah,
why are you afraid? We're in Australia. Who's going to come for you here?
Because they've got family back there. And do not underestimate the Chinese loyalists here in Australia who
I don't underestimate them at all. But the problem is, think about it this way. Are you by chance a student of history? In 1930s Germany,
there's more to history than that. That's overdone. Can we use a different analogy?
Well, I lost 6 million of my people, so there was nobody standing up for us when this was going on. There was a Lutheran minister who said, first, they came for the socialists, and I wasn't a socialist, so they left me alone. Then they came for the Jews, and I wasn't Jewish, so they left me alone. Then they came for the gays. I'm not gay. They left me alone. Then they came for me, and there was nobody left to stand up for me.
There were reasons why Germany went the way they did, and if we don't learn why Germany went down there,
I know exactly why they went the way they did.
That,
and the cause of World War II was World War I, and in fact, it was the United States Congress.
And we can blame Wilson's...
Not Wilson, it was the Congress that wouldn't support the U.S. joining the League of Nations that gave rise to the terrible reparations that France and Britain imposed on Germany.
What I'm saying is that the German people went that way. If we don't learn why Germany put their hands in a madman...
Well, the Americans nearly did. They're very fortunate they kicked him out this time, Trump.
Oh, yeah. Madman.
Yeah, he's a madman.
You mean Barry Goldwater?
No, I'm talking about Trump. That Goldwater, I remember that election. And in fact, the last time I was at a protest was 1968.
I got to keep moving.
No,
lovely to speak. What was your name?
Cheers, Brian.
Hey, Brian.
Chris, and you are?
Chris Discoveries.
Okay, no, you are Chris.
Oh, Chris. I'm Chris.
All right, Chris.
Thanks, man.
Cheers, mate.
Let's see if we can keep asking some people. Leave them some space. So, this is a tough gig tonight.
Yeah.
Ready to have a chat? Can we have a chat? Yeah, we're just talking about having to watch this. Tell us, mate, why have you come?
I have to. I mean, this is about my city. The city of Urumqi. Yeah.
But what is it about your city?
What is it about what, sorry?
What is it about your city that you've come tonight?
Because this whole thing is inspired by the tragic accident that happened. Well, maybe it's not an accident if you really think about it. About the fire that took the lives of 10 people, which is certainly a lie. It should be a lot more than 10 people, I believe. And then inspired a series of protests all over China, and it's also happening here in Sydney, in London, in New York, all over the world. And it's just a rare sight for me to see that, you know, just regular, everyday Chinese people who actually come from mainland to be chanting, you know, CCP step down and CCP step down. That's not an everyday sight to be seen. So I have to be here. And I feel very inspired.
Is this a protest against lockdowns, or is this a protest against how those lockdowns were decided upon?
I'm sure it's more about lockdown, because if you really hear the slogans that the protesters are chanting, the lockdown related slogans are only like 1/10 of it. I think that the lockdown has really made people realize that what kind of government has been ruling over their lives, and then they're realizing that it's time to ask for democracy and liberty, and not just some policies, not just some superficial policy change, but something more fundamental for China.
Okay. What did you think of the lockdown policies that were here in Australia for example, that you
okay,
lived
I
through?
have a lot to say.
Briefly, do you think it was too much?
It's way too much. I think
Way
it's
too much?
disgraceful that a liberal democracy like Australia embraced Chinese-style lockdown.
Yep.
And it's not just about science, although like scientifically it's indefensible. It's more about the way that these policies are debated, that the way that they were carried out. It's, to be honest, I honestly cannot distinguish what happened in Australia with what happened in China, except for the fact that the lockdowns are imposed in a more organized manner in Australia. So in a way, you can say that Australia did authoritarianism better than China. But the blatant disregard for human rights, the blatant disregard for rule of law, due process, and everything we claim to hold dear to our value, because I'm also an Australian, so I'm saying we just throw it all out of the window. And I think it's disgraceful that 1 year after opening up, we still haven't announced the Royal Commission into our handling of COVID pandemic.
That sounds like a vehement anti-lockdown activist there.
I am. I mean, I've been writing articles about that, and also I feel very disturbed that, you know, Prime Minister Albanese promised that Royal Commission will be launched. I don't know why it has to be delayed. I find the timing very curious because the Victoria election is just over. I can't help but thinking if this is related. So, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but what is the reason for the delay? Like, why don't you just launch it right away?
Don't know, but I do know that I do need to get this guy with the "fuck communism" shirt. No, he's just been intercepted by a social left guy, so I'm not going to be quite able to get him just now. But he's got a "fuck communism" shirt, and he's speaking with climate justice social left guy who feels that I'm a fascist Nazi. The guy on the left feels that I'm a fascist Nazi.
It's interesting that we find people from all different sorts of ideologies gathered here today. I just heard some like hardcore communists debating that what's going on in China is actually not communism. Like the real communism isn't practiced in so
That communist, where did he grow up?
What's that, sorry?
The communist you were speaking with, who was saying that it wasn't real communism, where did he look like he grew up? His parents came from?
I think Australian, because the accent and they were white.
Okay.
And then they had the accent, so it must be Australian, I guess. I think it's a fair...
It's quite common amongst universities and others. It's,
Yeah. I went to UNSW and there's quite a large presence on campus there.
But ethnically and culturally, you'll find they come from generally one subgroup, which their parents grew up in Australia or migrated from Europe. Is a common correlation.
Yeah. Look, I mean, I'm all for freedom, so I'm not here to judge. Who am I to? I'm not the arbiter of truth. Whatever you want to believe, go believe it. But like fundamentally, this is about Chinese people coming here and asking for freedom, asking for democracy, and most importantly, just asking for decency. You know, just be treated like a human being. Because
I'd love to agree, but a precedent over the past few years have been set is that you become identified by the minority in your crowd. And anti-lockdown protests in Melbourne had a handful of Nazis attend them.
Yeah.
Whether they were Nazis or not isn't the point. It became a Nazi rally, so much so that it was a campaigning point for Daniel Andrews, that many agree supported him in that he tarred the entire movement as a fascist Nazi.
Yeah. And it didn't just happen in Australia. We saw it in France. We saw it in Canada, most disturbingly.
So the same thing happens here, is that you have communists supporting this movement, saying it wasn't real communism, and there's never real communism. So inevitably, what this ends up to be is anyone who looks at this rally says, like, oh, communists went to this rally by the same rules that we seem to end up with.
No, exactly.
Which is silly, but...
So, I mean, I appreciate the support as a Uyghur person, as a Uyghur Australian. I appreciate the support, but I do hope that, you know, if you have your own agenda, maybe suppress it for the time being. This is really about the Chinese people. This is about the Uyghur people. This is more specifically about the tragic death of the unknown number of people that died in that apartment building.
Yep.
So, I mean, maybe this is not the forum for a debate for communism.
Yeah, okay, great. I get that. Thanks, mate. Thanks for the chat.
Thank you.
Can we actually, hold on. We haven't talked to you.
I want to talk.
Yeah, absolutely. What have you got with you?
I got A7S III.
The A7S Mark III.
Yeah, because I do video.
Wait, you got two? You got two A7S IIIs, or?
No, this is 7 IV.
You got an A7 IV?
Yeah, because I wanted to get this extra lens for low light shooting, 1.4.
24 1.4. Yep.
Yeah. So
why 24? Low
and
light.
it's a tiny camera, so I might as well just bring them both.
Yep. So you got the 24 1.4 prime and the
2470
68 on the A7S III.
Yeah.
Yep. Because it's a bit darker, and you get. How do you find the A7 IV in low light?
Never really tried because I have A7S III, which is the low light beast. So like I've never really tried it.
Yep.
So
yep.
Yeah, but A7S III is amazing in low light. I can just jack up the ISO to over 10,000, and it's
over 9,000.
Over 10,000. It's actually I think it's 12,800, which is the second ISO.
Or 25.
Yeah, which is insane.
It's crazy. All right, I got to keep moving.
Yeah,
Thanks for
sure.
the chat.
Thank you.
See you, mate.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, mate. That was a lovely chat. Wow, they've got some stamina, these guys. Good on them. They've really got some stamina. Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay, cool, sweet. Zero COVID is a domestic rehearsal for the state of war to invade Taiwan. It's an interesting one. Do you think it's really going to happen? Nope, all good. Thanks, mate.
Too many police! Not enough justice! Too many police! No justice! Freedom, freedom for China! We want freedom for China! Freedom, freedom for China! Freedom, freedom for China! Freedom, freedom for China! Freedom, freedom for China! From Sydney to Shanghai, democracy will never die! 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 Fuck the police, fuck the
it's
state!
amazing.
Workers will decide the fate!
One language.
Fuck the police, fuck the state! Workers will decide their fate! Fuck the police, fuck the state! Workers will decide their fate! Fuck the police, fuck the state!
If the supporters cause, they support the cause. What I sometimes wonder is whether it's hijack or whatever it is like that is popular. But I don't know. That's where you get into the whole conspiracy questioning. I'm like, I don't know.
Have I told you?
No.
In 2019, I was invited to speak at the New South Wales Greens Delegates Conference.
No.
So I was part of the, 2019, a whole bunch of pro-Hong Kong democracy protesting, not just in Hong Kong, but over the world, including Melbourne. So I got caught up in some shenanigans in Melbourne, which I've been writing about.
What do you mean by shenanigans? Caught up in some shenanigans. You can't just say shenanigans.
I think it was August the 6th, 2019.
Yep.
I think outside the State Library in Victoria, in Melbourne, there was like a pro-Hong Kong democracy protest. And it was fairly peaceful, it was like this. And then, like, I don't know, about at least 400 pro-Beijing students.
400?
Yeah.
That's a number. Okay, that's not just
They just marched in and yeah, it got pretty ugly.
Wow.
So there was some, shoving and pushing, and
okay.
No one died. I don't think there was any
no,
customers.
People don't die at protests.
But
At least not here, anyway.
You had these grown men, like doing these pussy,
and waiting for you to pushy back, because then they can pushy more, and then pushy. Yeah.
Yeah, pushy. So that was I did live stream that, but it was poor quality. You've got better equipment. But then I also spoke at
a Greens conference. You were invited to speak at the Greens conference, but you turned it down, or you went?
No, I attended. And I talked about the movement. I talked about what was happening in Sydney, because I was part of the pro-Hong Kong democracy protesting in Sydney at the time.
Yep.
But they needed someone who could speak English confidently. Now, I'm not a Hong Konger, but because I was part of that crew that were part of the regulars.
Or someone who would speak Mandarin competently.
English.
That's not you?
No, that's why they were
out. Okay. Yeah, great. And did you speak?
Yeah, I did.
Great.
And it was Lee Rhiannon who invited me.
Great.
And I was like, oh boy, Lee, if only you knew what my political views are.
No,
but we decided to put it, I took a mature approach, I put it aside, I was like, okay, we've got a common cause, we'll stick to that, and I won't pick a fight.
Yeah, great. Unlike...
If only Lee knew, if Lee knew, she would like, no, we don't need her.
Oh no, just a gentleman slightly drunk and making his way home.
Oh, yeah.
Just a slightly
I
drunk
think I counted 4 police officers, max.
No police turnout. I'm stunned.
Like, this could have gone pretty ugly.
Yeah. I'm amazed they haven't trotted out more. I really hope there are more on standby, because this is the kind of thing that does kick off quite quickly.
But look, it's 9:30. Probably not. 9:30, probably not.
See if I can ask. Very different from Western organised protests. Very different. Well, that's time. I'm going to see if I can ask some other gentlemen. Interesting story. Thank you, darling. Thank you. Are you okay to chat on camera? Can we talk? No, keep doing that. You're fine. Fine. Oh, yeah, you can keep recording. It's fine. Okay, he's got an iPhone 10. Hello. Oh, what have we got? We've got I'll take one, please. What have we got? Gaming, Ganjing World, wholesome platform, free of violence. Oh, okay. Like a Facebook 3.0. There you go. Ganjing World. No idea. Ganjing, clean, neat. Is this Falun Gong? Okay. All right. There you go. Thanks.
How are you?
All right, cool.
我想问我们今天为什么来到这里？我想说的是，我很幸运，我来到了澳洲，我可以来澳洲生活。但是我的同胞，他们在我们的国家，对不对？他们没有那么幸运。我也许就是在西安医院门口，因为没有绿码大出血的那个产妇。我可能就是深夜登上贵州那个巴士转运巴士，结果车毁人亡的乘客。我也有可能就是乌鲁木齐那栋楼里面被大火活活烧死的那些人。有一些小粉红说我们是境外势力，说我们辱华。我想问谁最辱华？那就是习近平。他为了自己的功绩，绑架14亿人，不让他们上学，不让他们工作，不让他们看病。最辱华的、最侮辱中国人的，就是这个习近平。谢谢。
提出来让领导人先走的那位臭女人，当她在这件事情发生以后，她被免职了。最近她很早就已经官复原职，不但官复原职，她而且还连升3级。她的手上有300多条人命，有300个孩子就这样死在她的手上。这样的人经常去，除了中国还有吗？除了中国，世界上还能容纳
channel or something?
Chris Discoveries. Chris Discoveries is what we
Chris
were chatting on.
Discoveries, yeah. Yep.
That's the one. You can probably see the watermark right there.
Yeah, Chris Discoveries.
There you go. You got someone else we can talk to? All of the above. Chris Discoveries.
Chris Discoveries, yeah.
Yes, that's it. Have you seen the gentleman with the communism jumper around?
No.
There are a bunch of socialists on the outside.
There are, or?
Yeah, the same bunch of socialists that tried to make they've left. I think there's change for occasionally.
Oh, they have like a shift roster?
Yeah, I think.
Fuck vegans.
Vegans, fuck the fucking socialists.
Fuck liberals. Fuck libtards. MAGA. Make America great again.
You ever heard of the hashtag MAGA communism?
What the fuck's that?
It's this cross-compass unity suggesting that most of the issues that the democratic socialists of America have are quite similar with the Make America Great Again movement on big tech, big pharma, opiate addiction, taxes, corporate taxes, inequality. Pretty much all of it is a copy and paste on economic policy between the two.
Yeah, sure.
Two sides.
But I mean, at the same time, you got to look at abortion policies. How many people, how many infants are killed every year? Not being sexist or anything, but shit. I probably shouldn't take the attention away from the protests.
All good.
Sorry.
I'll keep moving on. Thanks. No, the Anglo-Socialists have left. Unfortunately, I've also missed out on the gentleman, the fuck communism shirt. The jumper, I should say. What have we got? Can we have a look? Can I have a look? Oh, yeah, you've got that. Oh, okay. Unsilenced. When silence lies a nation. Tickets 24th. Oh, we've just missed it. That's okay.
And this we finished it. This
there are more events.
Online.
More events. Online.
Online.
A jaded American reporter, a team of innocent students, when the state launches a brutal crackdown against 100 million citizens. Well, they risk everything to do. Deadly propaganda.
And this is a film.
I know about this film.
So it's nice. Oh, Epoch Times. Epoch Times.
Oh, yeah.
Austin Film Festival, St. Louis, Canberra, Sydney, and you can find it online, unsilencedmovie.com. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. How's it going? You guys don't have time on camera? No? Oh, good. Oh, Les Mis. How do they all know it? Guys, let me interrupt. Is this cultural appropriation? Is this okay? No?
It's a French revolution.
Yes. Oh, sorry. Western society is currently going through a schism where we are ripping and tearing ourselves if we appropriate anything from our cultures. Yeah, how do I explain?
I was actually surprised that the left was getting us all wear masks because isn't that cultural appropriation as well? It's only Asians doing masks.
Oh, I got a headache. But isn't it amazing they know the rules to their rules? Wow.
Yes.
Listen, did you hear them shouting out, "Give me liberty" or "Give me death"? Is that?
Yes, that was the live free or die. Free or
die. Live free or die. What are the free liberty?
The New Hampshire. Taking that back there.
Free Shanghai! Free Shanghai!
Oh, this is kind of a offshoot of the Hong Kong protest, isn't it? Okay, so this is Hong Kong to rolling it full. Okay.
Oh, it makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It can take me a while to get up to speed. Right. Wait, but Hong Kong was mainly Cantonese. Yes. And this time it's spread more, so it includes more Mandarin. Did you say there are more Mandarin speakers here in Hong Kong protests?
More Mandarin speakers. I guess 90% Mandarin speakers.
90%?
Yes, so the pro-Hong Kong protests here in 2019 were predominantly Cantonese speaking.
So most people here speak in Mandarin?
Yes, 90% are Mandarin speakers.
So I wouldn't say it's an offshoot of that movement, but it's certainly been an inspiration.
Actually, that's a road sign. It's a road sign in Shanghai. It's called the Yurongqi Road.
Yeah.
When Shanghainese wants to mourning some people dead. Yurongqi?
Yeah. No, I got it.
You were saying that's a lockdown city?
Yes, lockdown city, and that's a road in Shanghai.
Sister city. But Mandarin has a story.
Do you get a sense of the crowd's dying? Because I don't.
A little bit. Oh, it certainly shrunk, but I'm amazed at what time is it, guys? Yeah, I'm amazed we're going for 2 hours 40 minutes. I've been here for 3 now, streaming on coming up. 2 hours 15, whatever. This is a lot. It's a lot.
An ongoing discovery process.
Thank you. Actually, there's one delightful New South Wales police officer who shouts at me, "Are you Chris covering anything?" He's great. He's great. I don't know who he is, and I kind of want to stop and talk to him, but I also know that cops can't talk.
Yeah.
But some cops do, and they know. Here's what happens. Many police don't want to talk because they're worried about saying something stupid. And my advice to any police officer, and this goes for anyone I'm interviewing, just say what you can say, not what you can't. Just say g'day, good to see you, tip your hat. Don't stare at me like some kind of impotent mole, all right? Just say g'day. G'day. If you know me, just say g'day, Chris. You don't like me, just tip your hat. Don't. And this is increasingly not just police. Absolutely, if I can say absolutely, kind of everyone more and more is that they're absolutely terrified of a camera because they might say something silly. Don't just keep it simple. Have a conversation, talk what you can, and also in having an impromptu interview, you're showing that we can continue to have a dialogue around, and that really, really matters. We can continue to have a conversation. It doesn't have to be hyper political, and we can tip a hat to each other in the street and say, "Hi, you exist." What I've noticed.
You know me. I'm not afraid of saying anything. I just say it.
For better, actually, you're quite responsible with your speech. You're very responsible, mainly because you know exactly. You've already thought out a lot of this. You've thought a lot of this out.
I'm always very careful, aren't I, Chris?
You're very careful.
I'm always very careful about what I say, aren't I?
It's important to be. It's important to be thoughtful, not careful.
Thoughtful, not careful.
I am thoughtful.
We're breaking up.
Oh, why is getting late?
Let me catch Kevin. Who's going? Kevin.
Yes.
How do you feel? What do you think?
Oh, I feel excited.
Yep.
I feel people are union together.
Yep.
And I think more massive, much more massive and aggressive protest is coming in China. I think so. I think they're going to launch more.
Are you going to have more rallies?
Yes, of course. This is my first one, but
the first one?
I don't know. See,
this is
what
your
people
first one.
gather.
Yeah, you're at the center of it. You're at the center of that.
I know, and I'm not wearing a mask because I feel like I have to speak up. If I'm come up without courage, or I don't do it today, then people's masks can never be taken off.
Yeah, I know.
In China, yes, free to people.
Let me let you go. Chris Coveries, drop me a line. Telegram, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter.
Thank you so much for care. Thank you so much for care. Thank you.
Thanks for chatting.
Chinese people need your attention.
Thanks, Kevin. See you, dude.
See ya.
Bye. Aww. Oh, that's nice. I do care. I like talking to people. It's nice. Understanding their issues. And broadly, the issues that they're talking about is something I can pretty much agree with. We want to be able to speak out. I get that. You know, people.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Look at me, look at me. Got it. Got it.
Okay, cool.
You want my autograph too, or?
Actually, that's what I was saying at the journalism event. I was like, there are all these big names. Like, I want to see Jeff. I want to see Jeff. Jeff's cool. I want to see Edgar. Edgar's a big name.
Edgar. Oh, where the hell is Edgar? Where the hell is Edgar?
I'll show you later.
Edgar's not here.
G'day, guys. Did you come for the protest?
No.
Did you have an opinion or thought, or just passing by?
We don't even know what the protest is about.
China lockdowns, bad, anti-CCP, kind of. There's big lockdowns in China. Can't leave home.
Sure. Yeah.
People are. There's videos of people dying in homes.
Are you videotaping?
Yeah, I am. I always do.
Okay, but don't use me. Thank you.
Oh, good. Thank you. Can we have a look? Can we have a look? Hold on. Yep.
Videos.
Yep. Someone, guys, you've really got to take in some of the fair anxiety that people feel talking about some of these things. Is when people walk up to me and they're anxious. They don't want to talk about them, and that's fine. Using the ultra wide angle lens like this, it pretty much blurs most people out. But when people are saying thank you for doing this, you don't get that too often. I gotta say, it is awfully nice to have people coming up to you to say thank you for doing this. That's what I do. The white social left are very concerned about people being seen on camera, and that's where people wear masks if they don't want to be seen, and that works really well. But it's generally less of a tool. Are you going to go? Are you heading off? Go.
No, not necessarily.
I'm hanging around for a bit. Are these guys going? I might chat to these guys before they go. Are you guys leaving? Leaving?
Yeah, we're going.
Yeah, give us a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
Decompress now before you leave.
Okay, sure.
What do you think?
There's a lot of freedom-loving people around the world, mate.
Mm-hmm.
What's really good and really pleasing to see tonight is just the participation from people of all stripes. You can see there's a lot of mainland Chinese, there's a lot of every other sort of people of different colours and beliefs, all across the political spectrum. I think we can agree on one thing. How often do you come to an event where you're in absolute agreement with the socialist left about freedom?
Julian Assange rallies.
Oh yes.
Julian Assange rallies. There is cross-party unity there.
That's right.
Cross-campus unity.
Absolutely. And we should free, what's his name? Edward Snowden, right?
Snowden.
There you go.
Yep.
Because, the best disinfectant, what is it called? Sunlight's the best disinfectant, and I think transparency is everything. But I'm hoping today is an occasion that's, it's just a start.
Yep.
I sense a new wave of freedom, maybe a new golden age coming on. Hopefully this is the start of something good. Yeah.
Great. Lovely.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Thanks for that. See you, Jeff.
Thank you,
See you,
mate.
mate.
All right.
Oh, can I grab before you go?
Yeah, sure.
Last words. I will walk and talk with him. Come on.
Yeah,
Walk and talk.
just fuck the CCP, and that's why I'm here tonight. Fuck the CCP, fuck Xi Jinping. Thank you for the time.
Thanks for the views, mate. See you, mate. He had no idea. He had no idea. How did you not know? I'll go blow him up in a minute and be like, come on, get with it, guys.
Yeah. Blow the CCP up.
Yeah.
Blow up Xi Jinping's mom. Mark my words.
Okay, we go. No, people have got to start giving me eye contact or pointing to their side. They'll be like, I can't be on camera. If you don't want to be on camera, I know. You don't want to be on camera. Don't point to your side. When you give me eye contact, on your side of me. Oh, film the thing. Fine. Yeah. Man, that's hard. That's really hard. I think I'm gonna go, guys. Let me check some comments before I do. Let me check some comments before I do. What do we reckon? What do we reckon about all of this? I tried to think about some counter arguments to be critical of this protest on the way in, and this is hard to. How do you argue the side of pro, not just lockdown, but pro world down? I didn't have anything. I really struggled to say. I really struggled on that one. To try and find a pro world down argument. Comments aren't loading at the moment. Okay, guys. Nope. Let me check it. One sec. Maybe I can get comments working. I do like to at least get some comments in the. Oh wait, hold on. I just had to re-hotspot. Give me 1 second. But I really did struggle to try and get a pro world down because arguments can be made for law and order. Without order, there can be no law. So, all right, that's a fair point. And isn't it holding order more important than the liberty of view? So you can kind of go these kind of ways. But, you know, I just didn't want to try and make the argument for a world down. I could have made arguments about if it even saves one life, which is what the lockdown arguments were during 2020, 2021, you know, if it even saves one life. And I just, nah, sorry guys, no, not going to be able to check comments at the moment, unless I can borrow. Dana, can we browse comments on your phone? Mine aren't loading. I want to at least try and browse some of them because I have been running around for a bit. And I'll come over there.
Sorry, hang on.
No, it's all good. But I 106 comments. All right, let's have a look at some comments. Where we go? Can you hear what your friend's name? No. Do you hear the people sing from Les Mis? Yes. Guys, if you want to see a comment, we've got to start now. Here's the. Can you scroll up?
Your overview?
No, live chat, and we can keep going up. Can we go up any further? No, that's it. How do we get to the rest? Because I only use a few of them.
Actually, if I... No?
Maybe the rest of the comments are just hidden. Oh, yep, there we go.
Most relevant.
Evelyn, great coverage, thank you.
Which one?
Go newest, so that because someone might be watching right now and have a comment. Dale, great work. Thanks, Dale. Do you know what they want? Anti-lockdown, anti-CCP? Kind of a bit of both, Doug. They want kind of a bit of both. Well, there's data in here as well. We're just browsing comments. Read one out. Read one out. Read a talk back. Go. Dana's going to read out a comment.
Oh, you want me to read?
Yeah, go. Read out a comment that you like.
Now Ukraine and Hong Kong are gone. Let's try mainland China, our last hope.
I just need to learn Chinese people endurance. Actually, I will say that this was a good endurance protest, so I don't know if you're going to find a bit. Keep going.
The freedom/anti-COVID restriction rallies in the West were actually largely inspired by the pro-democracy Hong Kong protests of 2019. I don't know I agree with that, but anyway.
Maybe they were. China is using COVID to abuse the people. Someone here had a sign saying the lockdowns are just an excuse to prepare for the invasion of Taiwan. It was interesting. What's my friend's name? She is interesting and beautiful. It's probably you. So, Caitlin, that might be Dana, but who else do we have? It's probably you.
Well, we're all beautiful. Just saying.
Yeah. All good.
Freedom for China.
Keep going. Simeon. Keep going.
Oh, Frank Wu. Hidden or unhide?
Unhide. Oh, no, don't look at it. It's probably, if you unhide it, actually, Frank Wu. Free media, free speech, free the people. They just said, wow, that's all Frank Wu got banned for. Sorry, dude.
Unhide.
Trump 2024.
Very funny.
Give me 1 second. Actually, I've got to go and chase someone down before they leave. In a second. I'm going to wind up the live stream.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I'm going to go. I'll be back in 1 second. All right. See you guys. Bye.